Just as a disclaimer, we want you to know that some of the movies that we will be reviewing were shot in a different time and era where people of race and sex were not treated equally. We understand this and hope you do too. The movies or anything that happened on the sets are not the views of this podcast or what this show is intended to be all about.
Exactly. And we want to give due diligence in presenting the movie and not the views of the cast or directors or anyone involved. But we also feel it's necessary to let the audience know some of the background information to get a feel for what was happening at the time of shooting the film. Again, we hope you understand that we do not agree with everything that went on, and we just want to give out the information. And with that being said, hope you enjoy the show.
It was a place where a man could start over, where a fortune could be made. They say every town has a story. Tombstone has a legend.
Who is he?
That's Wyatt Earp. Made a name for himself as a peace officer.
I heard of you.
I'm retired.
You must be Doc Holliday. Are you retired too?
Not me. I'm in my prime.
Hollywood Pictures presents
The only real law around here is the cowboys.
the story of Wyatt Earp.
The first time in our lives we got a chance to stop wandering and finally be a family. Now this is trouble we don't need.
If we're gonna have a future in this town, it's gotta have some law and order.
What do you want, Ringo?
I want your blood. I want your soul. I want them both right now.
They shot your brother.
Now the time has come for justice.
Guess maybe you better swear me in.
And he has to live up to his reputation.
You got a fight coming.
I'll be there!
One last time.
None of your problem, Doc. You don't have to mix up in this.
That is a hell of a thing for you to say to me.
In a battle.
The last charge of Wyatt Earp and his immortals.
At the OK Corral.
Oh, my God.
The West would never forget. Kurt Russell. Val Kilmer. Dana Delaney. Powers Booth. Michael Biehn. Bill Paxton. Jason Priestley, Sam Elliott, and Charlton Heston.
You tell them I'm coming, and hell's coming with me!
Justice is coming to Tombstone.
All right, guys, although the recording is already done, Terrence did actually go back and watch Tombstone, so I'm going to throw this at the beginning of the episode. So if we start off kind of crazy, you'll hear Terrence, and then we'll jump into the episode with Dave and Laura and pick up. But I wanted to get Terrence's thoughts and feelings on Tombstone. Terrence,
loved it. It was so good. I mean, like I've said before, I'm a huge sucker for westerns. I've seen this long time ago, but seeing it as an adult to fully understand, comprehend it, and just enjoy the movie, it was great. And also to get the references too. Particularly, the old famous saying, "I'll be your Huckleberry." Well, if you listen to the episode once we do it, we actually talk about that. There's some controversy going on of what he actually said, because Hucklebearer means the casket handle or whatever, for the coffin. Oh. So, but according to the script, it did say Huckleberry. But you can listen to the episode here in a little bit, and you can find out. What'd you think of the cast? I mean, obviously, great cast, right? Yeah, we talked about how much we loved Val Kilmer because... Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just all the characters were great. Everybody played their role really well. Even some of the smaller characters, you don't really show up until, certain parts of the movie, like McAllister. It was a star-studded cast, too. It was. It really was. But yeah, I know I enjoyed it from beginning to end. The only thing that was interesting was the pacing of it. It would be like that if I had to nitpick the movie, that would be the only thing I thought was like interesting and kind of off, because it kind of jumps time.
Right. Are you talking about like the love scenes? You know, the whole love thing.
That was weird too.
I don't
so
think
like
it really
was
to be in it.
It was insinuated, but it didn't actually like. I don't know if they actually had an affair or not, but it was lightly implied, and that's why I'm confused about it, because it was
then
like
at the end of the movie they're together.
and, the end of the movie was full blown. But even his wife, I had no idea what was going on with her until the end, and they spelled it out for me. They're like, "Oh yeah, she had a drug addiction."
Right.
And I was like, "Wait,
well, I mean,
what?"
you see all that, the opioids in the bottle.
I thought she was just really sick.
Well, she was, but yeah, that I didn't like that was just weird.
It was. So
they could have cut that out and
it threw off the
still a
pacing.
great movie, right?
And then it also it time jumps without telling you, and then out of nowhere they'll be like, "Oh yeah, we've been out here for a couple months and our business is booming." I'm like, "Wait, what?"
Then at the end when they go on their little revenge tour,
and then they're like, "Yeah, they've been on this revenge tour for a long time." Or for us, it's just a couple minutes. They're like, "Oh, they've just been going around the last couple of days, just roughing these guys up." And I'm like, "No, this took time."
Right? Yeah, it could have been years. So there's Terrence's take. Terrence, any controversy or anything you want to talk about this movie?
No, not really. It was a really good movie. I mean, I guess the biggest controversy would be the whole affair thing.
Right.
Might not sit well with some people, right? And like you were saying, it didn't feel necessary at all. Like it didn't add to the movie. At all.
Right.
It gave you an ending that was like, honestly, it could have ended after they got their quote unquote revenge. You know what I mean? Or even though it wasn't revenge, it was, what do they call it? It's like, this isn't
Justice.
revenge. This is retribution.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
It could have ended for me at the OK Corral. I mean, just that.
You all shoot out at the OK Corral.
Yeah, but we talked about Laura and Dave. We talked about when Wyatt Earp, not Wyatt. When he's going to fight Johnny Ringo or whatever his name is at the end, and
then Doc shows up,
just how he steps out of the shadows.
Oh, it was so great. Yeah. It was so well
and
done.
that guy was scared by then because he's and then he's like, I may not have been as sick as I was leading you to believe. You're like, you got me.
I just love that part where he's like, oh, I was just playing, and then Doc's like, I wasn't.
All right, so there you have it. Now we are going to actually start the official show with Dave and Laura, so stay tuned. I hope you enjoy. We're going to sit down and record some other stuff. Later. All right, guys, welcome back to the Tragedy of Cinema, episode 29. Today we'll be talking about Tombstone. I'm joined by two very special guests, Dave.
It's David.
Andrew Martin and Laura Martin. Dave, otherwise known as
Super Dave.
Wyatt Burp. He was burping before we started, so we wanted to get that out there. So, Terrence isn't here. He didn't have time to watch this movie. He couldn't really find a copy to watch, so these two was like, oh, it's one of our favorites. So here we go. Dave, the question. You might be able to phone a friend, Laura. So the question is, give me your top 3 favorite Western movies of all time.
Tombstone would be one of them. 310 to Yuma. And
you got any John Wayne movie you like?
No, I don't. I can't remember.
The Magnificent Seven.
That'd be
Blazing Saddles.
No, I don't remember that one. But recently Magnificent Seven, that was pretty good. I thought
the original or the remake.
Both.
Okay.
I don't remember the original really, but
you don't even really remember this movie we're talking about, so it's no surprise.
But I did enjoy the
remake was really good with
the remake. Yeah.
Laura, do you want to add anything to his 3?
Well, I mean, I can't tell you a specific John Wayne movie, but my dad is the biggest John Wayne fan, so I know them all.
My grandpa was the biggest John Wayne fan, and we used to go over there because he'd be like, well, do you like John Wayne? I was like, not really. And he'd be like, whoa, like I had just said the worst thing in the world. So, I mean, I've only seen it. I remember, like I was talking to Terrence, back in, I think it was the late 80s, they would have a thing come on TV. It was Hondo in 3D. And the only way you could get your glasses to watch this on TV, I think it was Channel 4 back then for us local, is you had to go to Subway and you had to get your 3D glasses.
Yeah.
I remember doing it for a couple of movies, but that's the one that really sticks out. So Here we are. We're getting ready to start with Tombstone, so I've divvied up the information. We're going to throw it over to Dave and let him go ahead and take us away down this dusty trail.
Oh, boy.
All right, Dave, Tombstone.
Tombstone. Release date, December 25th, 1993. Yes, that's right. It was on Christmas Day. The budget was $25 million estimated. Opening weekend was $6,454,752. And the gross USA $56,505,065. Cumulative worldwide gross.
Terrence would be proud.
56,505,000, same number as the gross. It was directed by George P. Cosmatos and Kevin Jarry. What's this? Charleston.
Yeah, he did the Charleston Hesed, directed them, the scenes, but he was uncredited for it.
It also was said that even though George, however you say his last name, Cosmatos, had the credit, Kurt Russell actually did the majority of
Kurt Russell is him. It's his ghostwriter. It's his ghost director is Cosmatos.
Yeah. Written by Kevin Jarry. And technical specs, runtime, it was 2 hours and 10 minutes, 130 minutes. And the director's cut would be, 2 hours and 14 minutes? 134 minutes?
Yep.
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 I might as well throw my yep in there. It's almost like the Three Amigos trying to review a movie right here.
Sound mix, Dolby Stereo. Color was Techno color. Aspect ratio 2.35:1. I don't know.
Yep.
Laboratory Techno color, Hollywood, California, USA, also prints. Negative format was 35 millimeter. Cinematographic process, Panavision anamorphic. Printed film format was 35 millimeters. And I think that's...
Now you got to do the awards, Dave. The awards. The thing about this movie is there wasn't very many awards, and they weren't nominated for me. This is the only one. This is it right here.
This is the only one.
This right here. They were nominated. These were nominated right here. So take it away.
Awards.
Not many.
Maybe one. MTV Movie Plus TV Awards, 1994 nominee. MTV Movie Award. Best Male Performance, Val Kilmer. Most Desirable Male. Most Desirable Male, David Martin. Val
Boy, there's got to be a big misprint right there. And it's Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer.
All right. I'm glad I took the synopsis away from you because I don't think you'd be able to make it. So I'm going to go ahead and read the synopsis before Laura gets into the cast. The synopsis is, Wyatt Earp was looking for a life of retirement by heading to Tombstone. Unfortunately, the life that he was trying to leave has made its way into the town of Tombstone. With the aid of his family and his best friend Doc Holliday, the group must try and rid the town of the cowboys, who are a reckless group of outlaws who think they are above the law. All right, Laura, why don't you go ahead and start? Give us the cast of characters.
All right. Of course, we have starting Kurt Russell as the main man, Wyatt Earp. Val Kilmer as the dreamy Doc Holliday. Originally, they were looking for Willem Dafoe. However, Buena Vista refused to distribute the film if he was cast due to a film that he was part of in, I believe it was 88. Something to do with Jesus, actually, but I don't know the name of it.
What would Jesus do in 1988?
That's right. Sam Elliott as Virgil Earp.
Yeah, they said that they thought he was too old to play the part, but I think he did outstanding.
He did a great job.
Agreed.
He was good.
You just liked his mustache, didn't you?
Well,
He does have the good stash game. Bill Paxton as Morgan Earp. Powers Booth as Curly Bill Brocious. Michael Bean as Johnny Ringo. Mickey Rourke originally turned that position down. Charleston Heston as Henry Hooker, Jason Priestley as Billy Breckenridge, John Tenney as Sheriff John Behan, Stephen Lang as Ike Clanton, Thomas Hayden Church, which I think you all know is from Star Wars as well, as Billy Clanton, Dana Delaney as Josephine Marcus, Paula Malcolmson as Allie Earp, Lisa Collins as Louisa Earp, John Philbin as Tom McClory, Dana Wheeler Nicholson as Maddie Blaylock, Joanna Pacula as Big Nose Kate, Michael. I know. I'm like That's yeah. Anyway,
So
Big Nose
not
Kate.
too good on this.
That's all right. Michael Rooker as Sherman McMasters, Harry Carey Jr. as Marshall Fred White. Glenn Ford was originally cast, but due to his poor health, it went to Harry Carey Jr. Billy Bob Thornton as Johnny Tyler, Thomas Arana as Frank Stillwell, Paul Ben Victor as Indian Charlie Cruz, Robert John Burke as Frank McLaury, Billy Zane, also from Titanic, as Mr. Fabian, John Corbett as Johnny Barnes, Buck Taylor as Turkey Creek Jack Johnson, Terry O'Quinn as Mayor John Clume.
You know who that was? That was John Locke in Lost.
Ah, yes.
I
That's,
didn't
yep.
really watch that show.
I love that show. Anyway, Peter Sheriko as John Texas Jack Vermillion. Wyatt Earp III, which was the original Wyatt Earp's fifth cousin, was cast as Billy Claiborne. And Robert Mitchum was the narrator. He was originally also supposed to be, I believe, Old Man Claiborne, and fell off his horse, hurt his back, and could not perform the part anymore.
CGI gone away.
That's right.
So, this movie starts out with some old black and white scenes, if you will, from other movies that you've seen, some famous pictures. And then you come to it and you see old Kurt Russell, old Wyatt Earp getting off a train. And we don't take it away from here, Dave? Do you remember? He's like, I don't even remember. And I remember, because I just watched this for the first time probably in 25 years, 20 years. Yeah, the other day. And I remember the opening scene, he's getting off the train, and the guy's bringing the horse off the train, and he's smacking it in the face with the thing. And then Wyatt Earp goes over there, grabs it, and smacks the guy. How do you like that? It's like, just get away, So, so he gets off the train, and there he meets Virgil, and is his brother, his other brother. Can't think of his name at the moment. And they're there with their ladies, and they've finally gotten away. They're coming here. They've heard that they're going to get rich. They're trying to retire, start their life over.
Yep.
And one of the first persons they meet is the sheriff. He's like, "Hey, you're Wyatt Earp. Hey, here, you want to? We'll show you this." He's like, "No." So, you get to the town, and the first place Wyatt Earp goes is he goes to this saloon. And it's like the Oriental, I think, is the name of it. And the guy's having trouble with one of the people there. And he's like, nobody goes to the Oriental. It's ran by somebody. So he goes in there and talks to the bartender and sits down or whatever. And I remember he says, "Well, I'll get rid of this guy if you give me 25% of the income or whatever."
Yep.
And so basically he runs the guy out that's been dragging everybody down, and he comes back out and he says, "Hey, I've already got this income coming in. This is going to be great." So Laura, go ahead and take it away from there. She's drawing a blank.
A little bit.
So actually the beginning of the movie, if we step back, is shows this couple getting married.
Oh, that's right.
And all of a sudden you see these bunch of people ride in, and they all got these red scarves hanging from their belts. Yep. And they're coming out there, and the one guy gets off, and he says, "You killed 2 cowboys." And he's like, "Hey." And then there's a big gunfight ensues, and they're like, they kill the husband. You see them drag the bride into the church. You hear a couple more gunshots, and then you see they all go over there and sit down at the big table that was spread out with food for them. And next thing you see is the priest is running out. And this one guy just turns and shoots him. He says, "Well, somebody shut him up." And this one guy just turns and shoots him and kills him. So that's the kind of people the cowboys are. So we get through that. Then Earp and them come. So they're trying to get away from their life as what they were known for before they came to Tombstone. And then you have Wyatt Earp's wife. I don't know what's wrong with her. She keeps taking medicine or alcohol or something. It doesn't. I don't think it ever really says, but she's kind of like she's always has to take this medicine or drugs or whatever.
I think it was called laudanum. It was a type of opiate. So once they take it, when they get addicted to it,
right? And she's been getting it from somebody.
Yeah.
And then as you're sitting there, then you see Doc Holliday rolling into town. And the reason that Doc Holliday actually came there was because he had tuberculosis. And he thought that the sandy air would help clear it up, you know. Besides, he was a good friend of Wyatt Earp anyway. So now you have these 4 guys. And something happens where they have some of the cowboys come into town or something. And you know, the Wyatt drags him out there, you know, and basically takes his gun away and says, like, don't come back here, you know, you're not wanted, blah, blah. So this starts off a string of things with the cowboys and these gentlemen. One of the things is when the Earps first enter Tombstone, there's a grave marker in the cemetery that says, here lies Lester Moore, 4 slugs from a 44, no less, no more. And that's actually a tombstone that you can see in Tombstone, Arizona. That's on an epitaph. So I thought that was pretty good. So you see Val Kilmer. He obviously plays the Doc Holliday, and all he does the whole movie is drink. I guess it's from his tuberculosis. He drinks and gambles the whole entire movie. So he's sitting at this table, and he's taking these people's money left and right, you know. And so finally, what it comes down to is the Cowboys have a big problem with these people, and it's just. I wasn't ever a really big Western person. Those that know me know I really don't even like John Wayne, and I know that's probably un-American. But it comes down to a big scene in the movie. There's some stuff that happens that I don't really remember a lot about because it's been so long since I, have seen it, and I rewatched it just a couple days ago. But if I have some of my timeline messed up in here, forgive me. I'm trying to remember this, refresh my memory, because I've watched a couple movies in between then. So I remember that now that Wyatt Earp and his people have the Oriental, some of the Cowboys come in, and they're sitting there at the table, and this one guy's losing money left and right, and so I remember there's a gun under the table that Kurt Russell has under the table, and you just see him moving back and forth, and Doc Holliday sitting there getting drunk, winning, and basically he kicks the cowboy out. He's like, "You're going to be sorry. Nobody does this to the Cowboys."
Yep.
So it comes down to where basically the Cowboys are there doing some stuff they shouldn't, and they call out basically, I guess, the marshal. It's an older guy that keeps control of the town, and I believe he basically gets shot by one of them. And that's when
doesn't he die?
Yeah, he ends up dying. And that's when he takes over. But if you remember, the one drunk guy, one of the Cowboys gets drunk, and he comes out and he just starts shooting his guns in the air at nighttime, and that's when the guy comes out and says, "Hey, you're gonna have to go," and all that. And I don't think he kills him right then, because I think Kurt Russell comes out and he bangs him on the head. Remember, knocks him out, takes his guns, puts him in the jail. And then the next day they come, and then that's where I think Sam Elliott and them say, "Hey, he's like, you need to take this back over. Wyatt doesn't want anything to do with it." So the next day you see Virgil, which is Sam Elliott, and the other brother. They're hammering up signs that says, "Hey, no firearms will be allowed in the town of Tombstone again. It's a gun-free zone or whatever." Well, that doesn't take too kindly with the Cowboys, right?
No.
So basically what you do is you have this big O showdown coming down to, there's some stuff that happened in between here. There's some backstory that I'm forgetting, and I don't want to ruin it or say the wrong thing. But it comes down to the OK Corral. And the OK Corral, they're like, hey, they're over here at the or down by the OK Corral. They've got their guns, and they're talking how they're going to, So here comes, you got Virgil, you got Wyatt Earp, and you got...
the other brother was shot.
Right, not yet though, because that's the night where Virgil gets shot and the brother gets shot. So these 4 come, and the OK Corral happens, and so next thing you see, they say, "Well, make your move," And Val Kilmer, he's probably my favorite one in the movie, just because he always looks so deathly pale and sick in the movie, and at the end he becomes pretty much the hero. But so the OK Corral starts, and bullets are flying everywhere. Virgil gets hit in the leg, so he gets shot in the leg. They kill a couple of the other ones. One of them dives through the window of where there was basically two sheriffs, or if you will, or mayor or whatever, and that was the one guy's like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" So he escapes or whatever. So now you got a really big problem. So when they get Virgil back, and he's like, "I don't want to do this. It's all your fault that we're here." He's blaming Wyatt Earp, and all this. So a little bit on further in the movie, they here's something I wanted to throw in here real quick. It was Val Kilmer's idea to whistle on the old Cater. If you remember, he's walking, he's just whistling along as he's going. So, and he also had to practice a long time on his quick draw speed, and gave his character a Southern aristocrat accent. The Southern accent is authentic touch, as Holiday was a cousin of Margaret Mitchell, author of Gone with the Wind, who he modeled the character of Ashley Wilkes after him. Mm-hmm. So there was that stuff. Also, that Doc Holliday's wink. If you remember at the OK Corral, when they're all looking at all the faces, and Val Kilmer looks at the one guy, he winks. That was all improvised by him. So that's when all the gunfights are. Once he winked, it was on like Donkey Kong. You know what I mean? So a little bit later in the movie, the cowboys decide that they've made threats. And there's one particular night where things are going to happen. If you remember, there's a love interest going on between Kurt Russell and this other lady that's part of this play troupe group or whatever.
Yeah, not his wife.
It's not his wife.
Correct.
His wife's doped up in bed for the most part. And she comes running to the house of where all the ladies are. She's like, "Look, I got a feeling something bad's about to happen." And there's like a shadow walk behind them, and you know what I mean. And this is the part where, and you've got Virgil and you've got the Earps and all them at their Oriental bar or whatever. Mm-hmm. And Virgil's like, "Man, I'm not feeling it. I'm just going to go home or whatever." So Virgil leaves on his own, and it's thundering outside. It's raining. And so you see those guys walking at the other house. And the next thing you see Virgil coming back in. "Oh, Virgil, we thought you said you were going home." And they're not even looking at him, and he comes over to the bar, and he's like, and he falls. "They got me," and he falls over to the ground, and he's like, "What's going on?" He's like, "It was them," or whatever. And if you notice, there's a part right there where when he goes over there to raise his head, he actually bumps Sam Elliott's head on the bar. It was like they left it in there. So the next thing you see, and technically in the real story, all this didn't happen at the same night. Like Virgil was actually shot, I think it was December 18th. I've got it in here somewhere. And then the other brother was shot because he's playing pool somewhere else. And he gets shot through the window. He gets shot in the back or whatever. Yep. So Kurt Russell goes running over there, and he's trying to get the bullet. The doctor and him are trying to get the bullet out of him. And I think this is actually the turning point of the movie for Kurt Russell or Wyatt Earp, I should say, because they couldn't do anything for him, and he comes out and he's got his blood in his hands. He goes out in the middle of the street and he's like, and he starts screaming at this guy or whatever. But that is a big moment for the whole movie. I think the whole thing, because the very next day, you see him on the cart taking the body of his brother down to be buried. And earlier in the movie, you see him taking one of their people down to the three guys after the OK Corral, I think, down to be buried in the same graveyard. And so what's really interesting is, Kurt Russell's gets everybody lined up on their coaches and horses, and he pulls up, and they pull up to the cowboys that are sitting there, and Kurt Russell looks at him. He's like, "I just want you guys to know that this is over. We've made peace or whatever. It's over." And the guys were real smart aleck about it. And they say something that just didn't really like. I don't remember what it was, but he's like, it's a good day for a funeral or something like that. I don't remember the exact wording. So they go bury him. So now it just gets really crazy. Laura, would you like to add anything?
I mean, I will say I love the scene where he finally loses his stuff, and he says that he's coming and hell's coming with him. That's one of my favorite, because he's had enough.
Yeah.
He's had enough with the Cowboys.
Yeah. There's another part of this though, because I think this has happened before the OK Corral, even if I remember right, that this is the part where the one guy that they had arrested has a gun, and they're walking, it's Sam Elliott, the brother, and him, and they're walking, and he pulls out the gun and turns around, and he's like, "You want to fight me? You want to fight me?" He's like, "I don't want to fight you."
Nope.
And then here you see old Val Kilmer sitting there getting a shave. He stands up, he says, "I'll be your Huckleberry."
That's right.
Now, but there's something about that. Let me find it real quick. That when he said that they think that the phrase "I'm your Huckleberry" is said that it might have been misquoted due to Doc's thick Georgia accent. It is believed that he actually said, "I'm your Hucklebearer," because a huckle is the handle of a casket.
Correct.
So they thought maybe that's what he was supposed to say, but actually that way it would say that he was issuing a threat to the guy. But actually, Huckleberry is written in the script, so who knows? An interesting fact, that's where he got banged his head on the bar. Sylvester Stallone recommended that George P. Cosmatos would be a better choice for directing because Cosmatos directed Rambo First Blood Part 2, and he also directed Cobra in 1986. But we all know that Cosmos was actually a ghost director for Kurt Russell. So now they're going to come after the Cowboys, and they're not going to stop till they kill them or stop them all or whatever.
Correct.
And so you see him riding. Well, Doc Holliday at this time, he's worse for wear, man. He's looking really bad. They pull over at this little place and little house, if you will. And the guy said he can't go anywhere. He's really sick. And they got him laying in the bed. he's like, oh, he's like, I wish I could be there for you. I'll be there for you. He's like, it's okay. We got it. So they finally come down. The one guy says, hey, he's going to be at this oak tree or whatever, and he wants you there at 7 tomorrow or whatever, because there was a double agent going back and forth, and the Cowboys ended up dragging the one guy back and dropping him off by that house, so they knew where they were, and he was just all, from road rash and all that from the cowboy that drug him. So they get there, and he said, yeah, you're supposed to meet this guy here at 7 or whatever, so Kurt Russell's like, all right, I'm going, and I'm going alone. So they go and they park the horses, the couple of them, and then Kurt Russell gets off. He's like, I got it. So he starts walking. The next thing you see, what was the main bad guy's name? Was it Bill or Johnny?
Johnny Ringo.
Yeah.
Johnny Ringo.
And he goes, I didn't think you were going to make it. And, all you see is a shadow walking up, and next thing you see is Val Kilmer. So he's like, were you expecting somebody else, basically? Mm-hmm. So you see Doc Holliday, does the gunfight with him and ends up shooting and killing.
If I recall, they knew, or they thought that he was so sick because they knew he was the fastest gun draw of all of them was Doc Holliday, but they thought he was so sick he wouldn't be the one to show up. So they thought it was a shoo-in to kill Wyatt Earp because they knew he would come out. Well, not only that,
but they wanted Wyatt Earp. And I think that's why when they went and said, hey, we want you, Wyatt, he wants you to be there.
Yep.
And so when Wyatt Earp finally comes, he hears a gunshot and he runs over there. Val Kilmer, he's already had enough. He's leaning up against a tree, sitting down. Mm-hmm. He's like, what? He's like, well, I may not have been as sick as I was leaning on or whatever, So the next thing you see is now they're mowing down everybody. They're just going after everybody. The scene where, they come to the creek.
Yes.
And, they come up and all the Cowboys are there firing at them and all that. And Wyatt Earp, the one guy's talking trash or whatever, and he just stands up and he just goes running out in the water like a crazy guy, bullets flying around, and he ends up shooting like the other leader or whatever. I can't think of who it was. So and then the other guy's like, oh man,
Curly Bill.
Yeah. And then the other guy was like, oh man, and he shoots that guy in the stomach. But true story is that when let me see where I can find it. It says extraordinary scene as it is. It says in which Wyatt kills Curly Bill Brocious in the creek. It's all true.
Correct.
During the shootout in the creek, when Wyatt kills Curly Bill, the next person he shoots is Johnny Barnes. As in real life, Wyatt shoots Barnes in the stomach. However, Barnes was not killed on sight. He managed to escape and died in a farmhouse. However, before dying, he told the story of how Wyatt really did walk into a hell of Curly Bill's gunfire unscathed, walked right up to Bill and shot him point blank with both barrels of a double-barrel shotgun.
Wow.
So he went through all that, just walked right up to him and shot him. What kind of terrible shot do you have to be? I mean, what kind of outlaws? That's like having Dave having a gun trying to shoot somebody point blank and he can't do it. The Black Stud, ridden by Kurt Russell in this movie, was owned by Joe Ryder of the Ranches of Tacoma. We'll get to that in a second. This one. We'll get to that one in a minute. That's part of the same one I was trying to get to. Also, the gunfight at the OK Corral, it could have actually been actually called the gunfight near the OK Corral because it wasn't actually at the OK Corral, but took place in a vacant lot next to the Fry's photographic studio close to the OK Corral. Mm-hmm. Also, John Carpenter said in an interview in the 90s that he almost directed this film, which would have been very interesting.
I tried to imagine what that would look like.
This also has a great film score. Jerry Goldsmith was originally attached to score the film, but had to bow due to scheduling conflicts. Goldsmith personally recommended Bruce Boughton to score the film and was hired by producer Andrew J. Vanya and George P. Cosmatos, who were personal friends of Goldsmith. So basically that's who you know. You know what I mean? The filming location was pretty rough on them, that they shot in 2 locations in Arizona as Tombstone to make it look bigger.
Sure.
And there was also said that the heat and the scorpions were a problem. Also, Val Kilmer said that they wanted him to wear real cotton outfits. You know what I mean? So they said that he said like the temperature on the set was up to 134 degrees.
And I can testify, I had my band days and our uniforms were wool, and on the hot days, you thought you were going to die. Terrible.
The participants of what became known as the gunfight at the OK Corral were Virgil Morgan and Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday versus Tom and Frank McClary, Billy and Ike Clanton, and Billy Claiborne. Mm-hmm. During that gunfight, the 2 opposing parties were initially only about 6 feet apart. Damn. And 30 shots were fired in less than 30 seconds. Which, I don't know how you never got...
I don't think guns were nearly as accurate back then.
Well, probably when they've all been drinking all day.
Well, that's true,
They're probably seeing double. Oh, remember Val Kilmer says one of the funniest things? He's like, well, you're drunk. How'd you shoot him? He's like, I just shot at both of them. I think that was in the movie.
Exactly.
Wyatt Earp died in 1929, the real Wyatt Earp, having never been so much as scratched by a single bullet. The fact his name is known above, for instance, Virgil, who was the Marshal of Tombstone at the time of the famous gunfight, is largely due to Wyatt's self-promotion. Before his death, he walked into Hollywood circles, and John Wayne once claimed to have met him, apparently modeling his famous walk of that of Wyatt Earp. So that's pretty cool that John Wayne actually got to meet him. Mm-hmm. So now we're coming down to the end. You see the... and throughout this whole time... You've got the whole love thing going on between Wyatt and his wife. He's mad at his wife. He leaves his wife. The girl that wanted to be with him doesn't want to be with him. Now he wants to be with her. And it's just an ongoing thing there. You know, I could care less about that part of the story. Mm-hmm. But it played a role in the movie. So
it did.
Watch the movie if you want to get that part. But now you come to one of the more touching scenes of the movie. And that's when you see a old, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not a, what do you call it? Like, where we went on the tour.
Asylum?
Yeah, it's not an asylum, but it's, I don't know the word I'm looking for. It's a place where people go to die.
Yeah.
Like a sanitarium.
Yes,
sanatorium.
Yes.
Not sanitarium. It's one of the 2.
Sanatorium.
Yeah. And this is where Val Kilmer is now laying in a bed, and he's going to die.
Waverly Sanitarium.
Yes.
And that's
Hills.
actually, Waverly Hills, yes. And that actually was
A place for tuberculosis.
For tuberculosis,
right.
yeah.
And that's what it reminded me of in this movie. So, Wyatt Earp comes in there, and he's like, you're the only one that'll play cards with me anymore, and he's dealing out cards and all that. And he's like, it looks like you. And Val Kilmer's like, look, he's like, you got to stop coming. He's like, if you ever consider me your friend, he's like, you won't come ever again. And man, you can tell Kurt Russell is just devastated, or Wyatt Earp is just devastated at this time.
Of course.
He's like, all right, if that's what you want. And he lays a book down on him. And do you remember what the book was? It said something like The Adventures of Wyatt Earp or something.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty funny. But Val Kilmer stated that during his death scene, because he dies here in a few minutes, once Wyatt Earp leaves.
Spoiler alert.
Doc Holliday. There's a lot of death in this movie. Doc Holliday dies. But he said during his death scene, and when he was talking to Wyatt Earp, he said he was laid on a bed of ice so that he would shake and feel weird, and and it worked.
Well.
What was funny is that once Wyatt Earp leaves, Doc Holliday's sitting there and he looks down and he's barefoot.
Yep.
And he always swore that he would die with his boots on. So
I think he tried really hard.
Yeah.
I mean, he was always challenging everyone. He honestly expected to probably die in the middle of a gunfight.
Well, it says that that he had some final words. I'm not going to repeat them, but he had some final words. But it said, to this day, historians have debated on why Doc would say that. The main theory is that Doc had become a gunfighter, hoping that someone would kill him and spare him the effect of tuberculosis, and that he was amazed that the disease is what killed him, not the drinking, the chain smoking, the gambling, or the gunfighting. It was tuberculosis that ultimately did him in.
Yep.
So after this, you see, because I believe Doc Holliday tells him, he's like, go after her or whatever.
Yeah.
So the next thing you see, Kurt Russell. I keep saying Kurt Russell. It's Wyatt Earp.
Wyatt Earp.
Yeah, Wyatt. So he goes and he basically goes to where she's performing her play or whatever she's doing, and you see him, and he says, well, do you remember what you asked me the first time we met? And he's like, well, how about that dance or whatever? So then you see him dancing in the snow at the end of the movie, and you're like, whoop-de-doo. I'd rather just end it on Val Kilmer, but funny, So that's basically how this movie ended. It's a great movie. It's been many years since I've seen it. The cast there's a lot of people in this movie, a lot of famous people, a lot of award winners in this movie. I mean, you even got Jason Priestley from 90210 in there.
Yep.
But it was only...
So, Dave, give me your thoughts on this movie.
Well, I love the movie. I'd watch it any time it comes on.
When's the last time you seen it?
A couple of years ago. But I don't watch a lot of cable, so... But I like the movie a lot, and if I see it on screen, I'll watch it. I mean, and if I'm in the mood to watch a Western, that's one that I'll be watching. So,
are you a big Western fan?
No, but no.
All right, Laura, let's get yours. I know this is one of your favorites.
Yeah, I would also say I'm not a big Western fan, which is why it's ironic that this is definitely in my top 5 favorite movies. I will watch it anytime it's on. I have it on DVD. I've watched it.
But Dave, she has it on DVD, so you don't have to have it on cable to watch it.
Well, if I see it on the screen, I'm watching it.
Okay.
I would say,
so
even though, yes, quote, the main character is Wyatt Earp, I mean, honestly, Val Kilmer stole the show as Doc Holliday. All of his scenes that he's in, the fact that he had to play so sick, the fact that, I mean, his character was very sassy, just the lines, just everything, it was, to me, was a lot more about him. And his support. This movie in particular, I mean,
what I'm saying is, to me, it was... Even going beyond that, I think it was more about family.
Yes.
Because even though Doc Holliday wasn't part of the family, he was part of the family.
Correct.
And I think Sam Elliott played a really good role in this film.
Yep.
Even though some say he was too old to play it. The guy who played Morgan.
Yeah, but
the
he,
other
Bill
brother.
Paxton.
But he looked the part, I think.
Oh, yeah. Well, how do you know? Do you know what Virgil looked like?
Virgil or Sam?
No. Virgil,
the real.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, so how do you say you look the part if you don't know?
It's a Western.
Well, so
Well,
was
that's true. He does have a natural swagger.
Yeah, but I mean, and he's got that drawn voice anyway. You know, anything he plays, he's excellent in. But to me, I'm not a big Kurt Russell fan. I've seen a couple movies, you know, but this movie, he was great in it.
Yes, agreed.
And it always bothered me, his mustache in this movie. I just wanted to shave it off. It just one of the bushy mustaches. I mean, you know, you could tell it was almost fake. I don't know if it was fake, but it looked fake.
Yeah.
But it was really over the top. You know what I mean? And then, of course...
but I think there are... I mean, obviously, since he lived to 1929, 1930, I mean, there are actual photographs of Wyatt Earp.
People have
that
made.
was his... That was the real Wyatt Earp's mustache.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm just saying it bothered
on Kurt Russell, it did look
bothered
odd.
me a lot.
I will agree with that.
You know, I'm trying to think of some other movies that Kurt Russell was in that I liked better. I don't know if there is one.
Overboard.
That I liked better
Big
than
Trouble
this.
Oh,
in
well,
Little
maybe
China.
not better. You're right.
Big Trouble in Little China is close. That's a really good one. Was it Tango and Cash?
Tango and Cash.
Backdraft was also
That was
really good.
That was a great movie too.
Yeah.
So
there's I can't remember now.
yeah,
Well, you know, Kurt Russell got a start on Disney movies as a child. As a
I
child.
know. And what was that one? Was he in the one where they had to hook him up the battery out of him? And hook him up to I can't remember the name of it. He was like a robot, android, or whatever.
Yeah,
And he was like a football player or something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Before my time.
So there you have it. That is Tombstone. Remember, if you'd like to reach us out on social media, we do have a Facebook group, the Tragedy of Cinema Podcast, where Laura is actually one of our moderators. Dave, not so much.
I'm here for the fun.
Yeah, he's just here for the post.
That's right.
And Thundercats.
He is one of the first Patreon.
He is
That's
the
right.
first Patreon.
Yeah.
Am I?
The very
I thought I was
first.
second, maybe.
Were you? No, I think you were first.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
The first Patreon.
That's right. My name is David Martin. I am one of the first Patreons. You know. No.
You are the first Patreon that's been on this. No, I can't even say that because Sam's already beat you to it, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, because he did
Because
Godfather.
he did the interview.
Yep.
Sam did the Godfather before you would come. And Dave does want us to cover The Last Starfighter, which I have the notes done, but he needs to.
I need to watch it again.
Yeah, he needs to watch it again just to make sure he's on top of things and not just ad-libbing every here and there just to be on here today.
That's
You need to watch Tombstone again, too.
yeah.
Like I said, I'm sure there's some of this part of this movie that I'm leaving out that I forgot about. But it's just so entertaining to watch. I didn't really want to take notes while I was watching it.
Right.
I got captivated. Like I said, I'm not a big Western fan. My brother-in-law is a big Western fan. Actually, he likes Tombstone. My grandpa was a big John Wayne fan, probably the biggest John Wayne fan I know. And every time you go over to his house, there would be a Western on, whether it's the TV show Bonanza, Wild Wild West, John Wayne, anything. And then, you know, you just be flipping through, and he'll be flipping through the channels, and then a Western will be on, and he's like, oh, here's what happens in this one, because he knew. And I was like, man, you know, I didn't really care for him. But now after watching this movie, I kind of like to go back and see, maybe do a John Wayne movie. I remember Hondo, and there's one where he has a sawed-off shotgun that I really liked.
You know, there's.
Well, you know, he didn't always do.
Yeah, but that's when he was good.
Well, he had a couple that weren't Western related.
But that's when he was good.
I mean, well, that's true.
Well, you're talking to me, and I don't even like John Wayne for anything he did, so I don't know.
And that might also be, I mean, I can appreciate the John Wayne movies, but I think because my dad had those on all the time, that's probably one of the reasons why I don't typically enjoy a Western. But then, oddly enough,
and technically, me and Terrence weren't even supposed to do Tombstone because we flipped a coin and Stagecoach won, which was one of John Wayne's first movies we were going to do. So,
interesting.
Yeah, and then we flipped a coin in here the other day. He's like, oh, Stagecoach won, you know, heads is this, tails is this, and Stagecoach won. And then by the time he left that day, he was like, let's just do Tombstone. You know, it's been a while. So we decided on Tombstone. So like I said, we have a Facebook page, we have a Patreon, we have Instagram, we have Twitter. If you would like to leave us a review on Apple iTunes, tell your friends. I know this was a little bit of a weird one. It's kind of late at night. I've been up for a long, long time, and Dave and Laura were just happened to be in town. It's a rare occasion that they're both here together. Well, it's a rare occasion
it's the
that.
other way around.
I was going to say, it's a rare occasion that we're here at the same time you are.
Though that's true too.
Your work
That's true,
schedule
too. And
typically
then-
is opposite hours.
Right, and Dave's a truck driver, so he's not always readily available. Really. And everybody just wrecked their cars that are listening to it in their car. So, yeah, I'm going to have him back again. Maybe when I have a little bit more sleep. I haven't
fair.
been dealing with a kidney stone
Oh,
or a new dog.
That does suck.
Or a new dog. So,
But she's very cute.
debatable. So, like I said, there's all of our info. Be on the lookout this week. I do believe our Universal Monsters. I said Monsters this time, not Studios, like I have been. Universal Monsters should either start dropping towards the end of this week or the next week. So be on the lookout for that. And I'll get with Terrence and see what we're going to cover this next week. I had a whole list of movies written down that I'd like to do. I'm talking like Neverending Story, Rambo, Batteries Not Included, Somewhere in Time,
It's like you've
Airplane.
been taking notes from me.
Just some of the Young Frankenstein. I love to do some Gene
Conan.
Wilder movies because
Conan. I'd like you to do Conan.
Conan the Barbarian.
Oh, yeah.
Masters of the Universe, a terrible Dolph Lundgren movie, but yes, it's
Yeah.
still Beetlejuice, Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
So there's some stuff coming. It's just not enough hours in the day. Sometime, you know what I mean. So if I could, I'd just sit here and do this all day, every day, and watch movies. How fun would that be?
And maybe one day you'll get there.
But I think for now that this one's coming to a close.
Yep.
Tombstone has left the building, and I think that's a wrap. And
And cut.